I assume we're not cursed and grappled anymore. Not that really matters.
You are not. Welcome back, everyone.
Hello!
Hello.
Nice one, Grim.
Just talk
Look.
over that intro.
Nice one, Minnie.
Like, important stuff. Like, now the audience knows.
Yeah.
We're not
So now-
grappled,
yeah.
the creature's dead.
In fact, we
First
might
spawn.
as well just go here. No, not here.
Yeah. No, not,
Oh.
no, not there.
To here.
We've gone backwards. Perfect.
We
Now
messed
that
up,
we're
guys.
outside of the vault,
No.
try
Oh, yeah.
casting
Yes.
the spell this time.
You may. Let me.
Wait, like, you're not gonna cast message, right?
Sending.
Or sending, like, because we just discussed that we probably don't need to.
Okay, did we?
Wait, was that what
We-
we landed on?
Wait, I thought that's what we landed on. Because, like,
I thought we landed
got
on the
through-
opposite.
We got through the process of discussing it, and then went, and then we said, let's go take a break.
We went,
Yeah, basically. Well, let's have that discussion now then.
So, yeah.
because,
Is there
like,
any like specific reason we need to stay on this island?
well, the reason is more why we should not use the emergency exit. There's
Yeah.
well, there's two things. First off, like the emergency exit places us basically in the hands of genies, which we are pretty much powerless compared to them. And if they fancy the crown, we probably lose the crown, and
I mean,
maybe
they
more.
don't even have to know we have the crown. It
No,
could just
but, like-
be, hey, my parent is from this place and we were in trouble, so he bailed us out. Thanks, hi.
Yeah, but he also mentioned how he might get in trouble.
Yeah, he might get in trouble for teleporting us, but if we don't mention the crown, he won't get in trouble for the crown.
No, but like you're just assuming that they're like, oh, bad, you shouldn't teleport them. We're just gonna let them do whatever they please now.
Okay, good point.
That
I
is.
mean, ideally, they'll send us back somewhere that isn't where we left, but.
However, like as we've established, there's a chance that we might not actually need to use that escape. Plus, we still have a certain castle inhabitant to deal with.
So how much time has passed since we've been on this island?
I think-
4 days, right?
Yeah, 4 days we decided.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So like we need to stay like 3 more days.
3 days. Well, like
Yeah.
one day, like
Just
we get
travel.
outside, spend a day.
Also, I mean, either way, I'm gonna have to cast sending because I'm gonna have to message the captain and say, hey, we need a pickup next time you're passing.
Also true.
Yeah. I guess
You
like
know?
some head like a decent heads up would be appreciated probably.
You know, yeah, I'd be like, when are you
Um,
next?
However, we might want to wait till we're out of the fortress because if we don't make it out, we're the emergency. If we do
Yeah.
make it out, we don't.
Yeah, exactly.
So after we get out, that's when we or
Alright.
we get in trouble.
Alright.
Whew.
Yeah.
This
Well,
is
how much
this is
heads
getting
up
complicated.
do we need to give for our emergency exit plan?
Yeah, he said, I mean, they said as much time as possible.
Okay, so can you ask them to be potentially on standby, essentially? And if we really need it, we send it try that again. Send a second message. Or yeah,
I suppose I could.
I don't want to make you expend more power than you need to, but
I mean, I could do that. I
Well-
also just don't know how prepared they can be.
Actually, before we do all that, like before we make decisions, perhaps we can get some information out of this one. Like looking at Tamari.
yeah. Well, what sort of information do we want? I can get a little, perhaps, assuming she doesn't immediately try to lie her way out of it.
Wait, are you restricted to yes no or are you?
No.
No, it's
No, it can
not
be any.
yes.
It can be any. Yeah, it can be any question.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
it's been a while since I've used this. It's
Well,
any
let me put it
question.
this way: you didn't ask me yes no questions.
no.
Yeah, well,
It's
The first thing you'd ask me was just straight up, "Who are you?" So
you are basically permitted 3 questions. They have to answer truthfully, but the extent to which they do so is entirely their remit.
yeah, because it doesn't force them. It's just that whatever they say has to be the truth.
And if they don't tell the truth, then
They take damage.
they get
Yeah,
hit.
but if they say nothing, they're fine.
oh yeah,
No, they are
but yeah.
compelled to answer. They have to give an answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
They cannot
I'd
simply
I'd also
remain
like
silent.
to, based on the knowledge of an experiment which got me in trouble, Can we check her hands for secret invisible rings that may or may not protect her from having to tell the truth?
Okay.
Can't believe you're gonna strip her down.
So
I'm gonna strip her
like
down.
that.
Wow.
you run your hands over her fingers and find nothing.
Cool.
Well, actually, no. Technically, she is wearing a ring, but it is a regular ring.
Yeah, a mundane
Yeah.
ring. Cool.
Fantastic.
Okay, but what we want to know is, we want to figure out more about the Cabal, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, why are you valuable to the Cabal? Maybe that's too open.
I was gonna say, but also, does she even necessarily know that?
I mean, we know that. She's valuable to the Cabal because she knew about us. And the Cabal wanted to know about us.
I guess that is like
That was
would
straight
be-
up confirmed by her prison mate. Former prison mate.
I guess that is true.
Like, we know exactly why they wanted her, why she's useful to them. Like, she had
Well-
information on us, and as she's just proven, she's, you know, pretty
like,
adept
we know-
at leading cults to do things. Ultimately, they
Well,
weren't making much
you
progress
say
until
that,
we showed up.
like,
Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah, I
looking
said
at
that and
this-
then immediately realized my error.
like just look at this mess.
Anyways,
Also, yeah. Anyway,
we can debate her effectiveness later.
But yeah,
but yeah, we know
Um,
why she's important to them.
yes,
We know why she's working for them. Because they're giving her the opportunity to kill us.
Yes, but like, let's keep on thinking of things that we actually want to ask her then instead.
I mean, one
Like
of the
what
things
she
we'll do
knows about
is-
the, like, is there any of the any? Can she like? Do we know the names of all our?
well,
we
we
know about the witch. What's she called again?
Supreme Witch.
Supreme
yeah,
Witch.
we know the Supreme Witch. We know
We know their names. I don't think we know the other names.
Illyria.
We know Illyria, we know the Supreme Witch, and
I thought we knew the big bad main
Hold on.
evil
wait,
dad
let me-
vampire's name.
Let's not. Okay, well,
Yeah, I thought we knew Illyria's dad.
I believe it was mentioned. Let me find it.
I just can't remember real quick. I have it
Yeah,
actually
I'm
got my
like
notes.
90% sure it was mentioned.
All Wild. I have the name All Wild written down, but I don't. know
That's
if
Temerity last name.
Oh, JK.
Oh yes, he
Um,
introduced himself. Yes, he is
Yeah.
Tallithsyr.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Generous
And then-
DM.
Yeah,
Rem-
and then Illyria
reminded us.
Aranda. Well, because think about it, right? How
Oh.
long has it been since we as players got that information, and how long has it been since
Yes.
we as characters have got
It's
that
in my
information?
notes.
I
It's
also
been
could
like a few.
I also could not remember myself. I had to look it up. But he does introduce himself in his speech to you. In
Yeah, like
Underground.
it's been like what, a couple of weeks since he introduced himself to us.
No, it's
Like
been a
our
bit longer than that, really.
our characters would remember that. Or at the very least, we should get a roll for it.
No, I did have it written down. I was on the wrong page. Sorry, so close.
Yeah, Tallithsyr.
Yeah. So yeah,
I
we
mean-
know the names of those three, but I suppose there could be other ringleaders we don't know about.
I mean, do we really like? Names are so
Well, like,
tentative
I'm just
in terms of
I'm
like
trying to
helpful.
I'm just trying to establish what we know, and like, because if we can answer a question, then that's something good.
I mean, knowing
Uh,
something about how the Cabal actually, functions would be nice.
Yeah, but like,
Like where they get resources, how exactly they're. How
but like
exactly,
the problem I have
they
with those questions,
delegate tasks.
the problem with those questions are they're so open.
Yeah,
You can
that's the only,
give such a
that's-
vague answer.
that's
Not
the
only-
only problem.
Not only that, but even knowing how they function probably won't give us enough of an edge to stop them, considering it seems like they have a lot of resources at their disposal.
Yeah, and they already know a lot about us.
Actually, there is one thing that, like, I don't think she knows, but there's a chance, base of operations, or maybe she has an idea.
I don't know. They don't. I mean,
Like,
I
they
don't
don't
think they
seem
seem
as-
like the kind of organization that has a base of operations.
Yeah, but like
I mean, I can use
And,
that
like,
as a.
like if they don't have one, that's information. But like
I suppose.
if there's anything tangible, like just there might be something that ties them down.
Okay, so where do they operate from?
It's like even like an organization as big as this one, you can't just
Well, maybe we should be more.
uproot and move
Maybe
at
we should
any
be more
time.
specific. Maybe we should be more specific with that question as well. Because if we just say like, where does the Cabal operate from? She could just name like any old place that some random cultists operate from. Like we presumably
would be a
want
lie,
where. No, it wouldn't.
Well,
If
like
they're still part of the Cabal, then it
It
wouldn't be a
it depends
lie.
how specific your question is.
Yeah,
Exactly.
What
If
is
we ask-
what is the supreme
but
witches?
But you add one
Yeah, if we
word
ask
to
for the
it.
Supreme Witches base of operation, or like the
What's the
Vampire's
central?
location.
What's the central or main base of operation?
Even then, that's a bit vague.
I mean,
Like-
that implies where the concentration of like most of their people are, so that is pretty specific as far as asking like a.
It could also not be where the vampires operate from.
No, but it would be an excellent source of information.
It
And
would
if you
be.
can cripple it somehow, that's
That's a lot
like,
of resources gone.
Okay, I'm gonna write down as an option of a question. Where is
Your
not
main
fuck.
base of
Okay.
operations.
oh,
God, we do
perhaps-
this so much.
Yeah, but like this is the hard part. It's like it's three questions. It's a hard
Yeah.
game.
He who
Um,
answers the 5 questions, 3 questions.
Is it also perhaps worth asking what the Cabal's next steps are? Like where they're headed next?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Or if
where they're heading.
or if she knows where any of the other artifacts are. Obviously, there's 3. Or even if,
Well, I think. Well, I think.
or even
I
like,
think
do
if
the
you can
Cabal
ask-
know where they are?
The problem is it's kind of like a two-part question because we
Well,
kind of we
we
know what
also
their next step
know-
is.
Yeah.
Their next step is going to be find the next artifact or retrieve this one.
Yeah, it's either going to be get this one from us or go after the not sword.
Okay, so what we can ask her, what is the location of the other 2 artifacts, or you should mention them specifically.
Well, no one knows where the sword is.
But like maybe they do, or maybe they know where the other one is, and then
Yeah.
like she can can answer that.
What is
Yeah.
the name? The sword is the. Hold on, I have it written down. Physical notes. Oh right, it was.
Oh, it was this unpronounceable name.
It
The
was
sword, Druniazath.
Junior's
Yeah,
that one.
Although I'm actually slightly concerned with that question. She could just say the material plane, and it's technically true.
No, but if he, well, actually, not.
what's the
no, because
location
if he
of this
doesn't
artifact?
know,
Then you say,
it's on
what's
the
the
material
exact location?
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
that's what-
no, but like then she could say she doesn't know. But she doesn't know exactly where it is. But if she knows it's on the material plane, that is actually more information than we had to begin with,
That's a very good point, actually.
because that means they have at least have a location idea.
Yeah.
It doesn't narrow it down a lot. Well, actually, it does if you look at the total surface area. But
I mean, it means we'd have to search the other planes of existence. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't particularly want to search the elemental planes that aren't the plane of air, or, hell.
oh well, actually, where will you? Otherwise, you can. Where's the at what location will you retrieve the next artifact? That might help.
Or will you hunt?
Although
or
she
will
might
you
not
look for
have
the
been
next
told
one?
yet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is also my concern. How much have they told?
Okay.
her? Because if
Okay,
she's
well-
sort of the same status as us, almost, she may not have been told all that much.
I mean, she's clearly working with them, so she's probably been told more. That being said, Ferrous, is it possible to wrap the asking about both of the artifacts into one question, or would you require that to be 2 separate questions?
You can ask it as one question, but it will depend entirely on what she knows.
Right.
Unfortunately, you have to be right back.
Okay.
Yeah, it was more just for counting like how many questions I could ask.
Yeah.
So okay, yeah. If I can ask that as one, then that leaves us with one more. If we're going to be asking both of the ones, excuse me, asking both of the ones that we've mentioned so far.
Sorry, was that question directed at me?
What question?
Oh, sorry, I thought that was a question.
Oh, it was more of a statement and like a confirmation that we still have one other
Yeah.
question that we
Yeah.
can ask.
Yes. Okay. Yes, you do.
Yeah. No, sorry, I wasn't very clear with the way I said that. God, part of me wants to ask like, what are the weaknesses of the Cabal? But that's like,
Subjective.
yeah,
Super
that's
vague, super
subjective, and also
subjective.
she might not know to the extent that I'm hoping for an answer. So I feel like that's a waste.
It's also quite vague.
I
Like she
mean,
could just
well,
list the weaknesses of a vampire, and that technically be telling the truth in a way.
yeah, I mean, the thing is that if we concern ourselves with how vague everything is, we're never gonna get a question that we're satisfied with. So at some point, we just have to
Well, no,
ask
of
and hope for the
course.
goddamn best.
Yeah.
Um,
But let's at least try and be specific first.
I mean, we
Jesus
could also try to ask. We could, because we don't know exactly what the crown does, right? We just know that it's powerful
Yeah,
and probably
That's
bad.
a good. That's. I mean, yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to think for.
Why do the Cabal want the crown?
Oh, I was thinking of literally just asking, what is the crown capable of? Like,
Yeah,
what sort
'cause
of power is the crown?
You already
capable
know.
of?
You already know the answer to why does the Cabal want the crown? Because they don't want the Dread Legion to have it.
No, yeah, good point. So I
But I
guess,
would
yeah,
like to
what's the
wait
crown do?
for Minnie to come back to see what
Yeah.
he thinks about that.
Yeah, fair.
Also, Luka, if you've got any questions or thoughts.
I'm like trying to think of something that would be useful.
Yeah. It's rough.
But then,
It's rough.
also, what do we? Okay, so we're gonna ask her the questions. If she doesn't answer them, and she, or she lies and she takes all the damage and she goes down, we're not gonna like save her. What do we do if she answers all the questions truthfully?
Kill her. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, I am not promising her anything after asking the questions, so as long as none of y'all say anything, we're not breaking any promises with whatever we do.
Well,
after
no,
the
I'm not
fact.
about to. I'm not about to. Like literally, she's gonna come to, and you're gonna go poof.
Well, I'm gonna heal her up a tiny. Well, she's stabilized. Does she have one health and stabilized, or is she just stabilized and not?
Well, when she becomes, she's stabilized at the moment, but eventually she'll regain 1 hit point because that's how regaining consciousness works.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. So we're going
It's
to.
literally
give
after
her...
an hour you gain 1 hit point.
I'm going to give her a hit point because I don't want to wait the entire hour because that sounds like a bad idea for us.
You can use the baton
Yeah,
on her while
obviously.
she's unconscious.
Oh,
That's weird.
that's even better. You can just
But
fucking bop her.
Yeah, there's no requirement for them to be conscious. They just
Oh,
have to be
well.
alive.
Oh, okay.
In that
Oh,
case,
great.
you could just bop her while she's conscious, and we could just leave her tied up and gagged in the
Yeah,
middle
but
of
I
this castle.
kind of want to get in her face a little bit and be like, "Tell me the damn truth, or you will probably die." Well,
Well, I mean,
You can say that before
you
you
can still
touch
do
her. And you'll
that
be like,
just in the
yeah,
in
yeah.
and
thing.
also you'd be
yeah,
like
I guess that's true.
a bajillion times more intimidating.
You,
Oh, right.
I believe as
Yeah.
well the I may have missed this when I explained this to Cav, but I believe the person who is affected by the spell is aware of the aware that answering incorrectly will cause like damage, quote unquote.
Yeah, I mean, I was aware of it in the first place anyway.
Okay. I mean, that's fair. I know that when you did, when it was just the orb, that I didn't know that ahead of answering the questions. I think
No.
that, Dom was the one who asked me the questions, I think.
No, it was Valt.
Oh, it was
yeah.
Mel. Just fucking kidding. I don't remember. It was a long
Yeah.
time ago. I remember he told me to answer
Yes.
truthfully, or this might hurt, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, also it wasn't fully reformed, so I'd imagine
Yeah.
it worked differently anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also, like-
it required willing creatures
Yeah.
when it was
Right.
broken.
Also, like, let's be honest here. You can still just tell her it'll hurt if you lie. There's like nothing stopping you.
Yeah.
And like I said, you'll be really fucking terrifying. Unless you've used it on her before, in which case you might be used to it. But you didn't even have it before you met her, so you're fine.
Yeah,
Ignore
I didn't
me.
have it last time.
So yeah, you'll like totally blow her mind. She'll be like shitting herself.
Right. Oh, so have you guys decided on the questions?
Oh, so the other thing that I proposed was that we ask about what the capabilities of like the Scorpion Crown are, because we don't know exactly what it does, but
That's a
she
good
might.
question.
But also it's in some way slightly less relevant because it really is just telling us what we're keeping out of the hands of the Cabal versus like something that would probably be directly, because like we're not going to use it, I'm assuming.
Well, unless it's like, unless we learn something amazing about it, but most likely, but that's fine. But on the topic of saying that if she knows if she has to tell the truth, well, you could quite literally just tell her if you lie, you'll die, because that is pretty much what will happen.
But also, like, as I posed while you were gone, what do we do if she answers all of them truthfully?
I say we just leave
Well,
her.
I
I
guess then
don't like the idea of her coming after us again, though, is the other thing.
Yeah, that's kind of a concern I had as well.
Oh no. I wanted to provide them as a throwback to the demon they sent after Kelariis, but that might be a little brutal.
How?
I mean, unless you do what you did to.
Well, look, they stitched a little thing to the demon with a message. But I didn't. I feel like stitching something to her might be a one step too far. But we could leave.
Yeah.
Let's not leave her body with a message for the Cabal. That's a bit sinister.
No, but like if we leave her alive, that is.
That's not much better, if I'm honest.
No,
Yeah, it's pretty grim.
especially if you're gonna stitch. Yeah.
No, like I said, we're not
No,
gonna
that's
stitch
grim.
it. Skip the stitching part.
Well, yeah,
but we...
leave her
You're just gonna leave a message like on her, like just leave a note with her, like "fuck you, Cabal."
I mean, I don't know. Why don't you do what you did with
Just do it in Sharpie.
With her friend, with her former jail buddy? Do what you did to her former jail buddy.
What?
I mean,
Cut her arm off.
Yeah, but that was not really
also
intentional.
unnecessary and dark.
Yeah, that was a joke.
Like
But,
leaving a message for the
unfortunately, it sailed
Cabal
over all of your heads.
like it's not necessarily dark. It's just like it's a way of we don't really have a direct line of communication with them anyway. This is like one of the few ways we can actually tell them something.
I mean, do we care? Like, do we want them?
I
to...
don't.
Yeah,
I don't care.
What would we tell them?
They already know that we're like doing this, so.
Yeah, and also like temerity
they-
not
and they-
coming back and not being in contact with them. We'll tell them enough about the fact that she probably ran into us or otherwise failed.
Yeah.
So...
Also, the fact that she doesn't come back with the crown, even if she does come back, we'll tell them that we have the crown. So there's nothing really stopping them just showing up and.
No,
being
but like
hey,
all those
crown.
things are obvious, but you're not. What you're thinking of is not actually sending a message to the Cabal. That just this is like basically like them knowing that they failed. What I was thinking more of along the lines of, like saying like, why not just leave temerity out of it or something like that. But then I guess if she wakes up, she can remove herself. Oh well.
Also, like, I'm pretty sure she, chose to join them.
No, but like, you know what
So,
I
like,
mean? Like, we can send a message different than just "we beat you." We can potentially do something peaceful or like semi-negotiation to better position.
Well, I mean, I suppose, but what would you suggest in that sense? Are we just gonna be like, "Hey, don't talk to us again" or something?
We can think about all of this. However, until we've done the actual thing, like we're preparing for a situation that might never occur. And if it occurs, there's no more time pressure.
Yeah, well, we've also gotten a bit off topic of, what do we do if she tells the truth and therefore doesn't die?
Well, just leave her.
Yeah, I think what Minnie was trying to say is what happens if she survives is a problem to be decided after she survives.
Yeah, that's fair.
So we're just gonna.
Okay, so questions are, just to get this clear, because it's where is the Cabal's main base of operations? Right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Where are the other 2 artifacts? Drunziath?
Tunisia.
Yeah, have fun
Tunisia.
pronouncing that.
Juniziath, is that what it is?
Yes, and
Okay, there's another I in it
Close
that I
enough.
missed at some point. And the Weeping Hexagram. And then what are the powers that the Scorpion Crown provides?
Yes.
Everybody good? Everybody on the same page?
Yes.
yeah.
Right. Proper, like sit her against a wall.
Do you have
and-
another? Do you have another
Bop.
question you want to replace any of those with? Last chance, guys.
Nope. Just bop her.
There are a million questions, but
Yeah.
I don't think any
Sit-
of them will work out.
Sit her against the wall and bop her.
Yeah. I guess keep watch. I don't know.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. Um.
Yeah, we'll keep watch.
Yeah. All right then. I mean, if everybody's good with the questions, then I will
Do it.
pull out the rod and.
Okay.
Well.
Okay, so we will go.
Boop.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Hello.
So, as you touch the rod to Daemaris' chest, and the 2 of you are swept away, and you appear at the familiar crossroads. Daemaris sort of like is slumped, but the moment you arrive, her eyes flutter open and she looks up at you.
Does she say anything or do anything? Just
Give me an insight check.
sure. Make sure I don't have anything ticked.
Okay, cool. So, the look she's giving you is, like she gives you this angry, frustrated look.
Yeah.
But she's not surprised. In fact, everyone else you've ever used this on before has been surprised. She is. It's almost like she anticipated this, perhaps.
Interesting.
Um,
Let me just make a note of that.
She is still very much compromised, but yeah, it has not come as a huge shock to her.
Okay. Well, I guess maybe yeah, okay. We'll get to that later. Yeah, all right. I guess I just looked down at her and just Oh, sorry. You said she's aware of the whole lying will make this hurt a lot.
Yeah,
aspect of it?
yes.
Okay.
Perhaps not explicitly, but it is. She is aware of it enough.
All right. Fair enough. Then yeah, I will simply word it as I suggest that you do not lie to me. So, why don't you tell me where the Cabal's main base of operations is?
She pulls herself up into a kneeling position, like sits back on her heels and looking up at you just says, well, if that's what you wanted to know, all you had to do was ask. Their base of operations is Duskwood Manor, in the city of Evernight in the Shadowfell.
Quickly scribbling that down. It's unfortunate.
Yeah. Duskwood Manor in the city of Evernight in the Shadowfell.
Evernight. Okay. I'm assuming that doesn't ring any bells, like that's not anywhere near where we were previously.
Give me a history check.
Okay. I'm sure that'll go great. Nope.
Okay. No, you don't recall it.
That's totally fair. Alright. Where... Alright then, where are the other 2 artifacts? God, I still can't say the fucking name even though we said it like 3 times.
Druniazath.
Druniazath and the Weeping Hexagram.
Okay, she grits her teeth a little, as if the next thing is hard to admit, and she says, well, as much as Lycidius likes to pretend, Draniazath is lost. We have no idea where it is. As for the hexagram, well, it's also lost, but we have our suspicions as to where that might be. Dread Legion snatched it from under our noses at the Black Ziggurat, and we suspect it has gone east.
On east. Okay. That's mildly unfortunate. Alright then. So what are the powers that the Scorpion Crown provides? You were so keen on getting your own hands on it too.
She sneers and sort of says, of course I was keen to get my hands on it. It would finally have gotten me loose of these shackles. Scorpion Crown granted Tharizdun mastery over his forces, but supposedly the wearer, if worthy, is granted powers befitting of a mighty leader, and their forces are transformed from useless thralls into mighty warriors. That's all I know. And with that, the bond ends.
Okay.
They have a floating ship with
Nope.
a teleporter.
Hello.
What?
Hello.
What?
Unrelated conversation.
Okay.
I mean, it is related, but not.
Well, yeah, it's related,
Not
but
that
we were
right.
just having a random conversation.
So,
So,
for
So,
like a minute passes, you watch Kelariis with this amber glow, like standing over Temerity, and then the glow fades and Kelariis pulls the rod away.
I'm assuming Daemaris is still unconscious.
Yes.
Okay. So, how'd it go?
I mean, she seemed to have been expecting it. So,
I guess she does know about it, so.
I guess, yeah, they might as well have informed her.
yeah, I guess. Well, that's unfortunate that it's not something that we can surprise them with. It's, I guess, not as unexpected as it could have been.
No
Yes,
longer a
maybe.
secret weapon.
Yeah.
We
I
have
mean-
been somewhat generous with it.
You know.
Well, aside from that, did you at least,
Yeah.
get the information? Or did she just...
No, she actually gave me the information, and it was truthful. At least what she said was. I don't know if she held back anything, but what she told me
So-
was the truth. So, let's start with, well, the two artifacts. They don't actually know where the Draniazath.
Draniazath.
whatever it's called.
Draniazath. Yeah, Draniazath is.
Yeah,
They put on the show of knowing it, but they don't know where it is.
I was going to say I didn't think they knew where it was.
The Weeping Hexagram, they also don't know the exact location of, but apparently it was taken by the Dread Legion from the Black Ziggurat, and they think that they've gone east with it.
Oh no, not that thing. I remember that thing. That was a bad thing.
There's a lot of bad things there, to be
It
fair.
was
but
like-
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think that was the artifact that if basically touching it or being in its presence would make you go mad or something along those lines. I don't
Oh,
recall exactly, but it was one of those in that category.
great. Fantastic. So I guess east is where we should be looking next for at least that, unless we get a lead on the sword first.
I mean... Yeah, anyway.
Oh, I thought you had
Sorry,
something to say. Yeah.
No, I thought of something and then...
So, the crown
Lord.
used to be an artifact of Tharizdun, at least according to, I guess, legend or maybe lore.
Well, they're all supposedly artifacts of Tharizdun. That's why
Okay,
they're being
also fair.
pursued.
Oh, okay, also fair. I think I'm
Yeah.
okay. But it was supposed to give the power of a leader to whoever wore it and was deemed worthy, and it would make thralls be warriors instead of just kind of average. So I can imagine why that would be useful to anybody looking to control a large army of any sort.
Wow, especially someone with such a vast amount of thralls already.
Mm-hmm.
You remember a last
Yeah.
encounter.
Though I do wonder what it does to somebody who is not deemed worthy by the crown itself. I can only imagine that would be unpleasant at best.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
don't want to
go-
imagine.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that all of us are probably unworthy of Ferrous Doom.
Yeah, I'm definitely not gonna put that crown on.
Yeah, also maybe
So-
let's just not use the crown.
Yeah. So what about the base?
So their base is at a place called Duskwood Manor in the city of Evernight in the Shadowfell. So
No, not the Shadowfell.
yeah, I know.
Honestly, makes a lot
mean-
more sense actually.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
all of you except for Kelariis, because Kelariis has already rolled it, can give me a history check to determine whether or not you know about the city of Evernight. Because some of you have heard about it before.
Not me, bitch.
Boom shakalaka.
Okay, so Elizabeth and Grim. Grim, you recall during a long spiel at some point, Professor Acamenius Zale mentioned the city of Evernight. It is supposed to be the Shadowfell mirror of the city of Argentellarind.
Oh, I think
Oh.
I actually think
Yes.
you literally mentioned this.
I did.
I believe.
Also known as basically the city of Undeath, home to vampires and other undead monstrosities.
How to?
Yeah, Elizabeth, your recollection is similar of the same thing, except you didn't hear it from Zale, you read it in a book.
Yep.
Quite possibly written by Zale, actually.
Oh, nice.
You've probably read one of Zale's books, or at least
Oh, what's
at
his-
least his lecture notes.
Nice.
But yes, basically, the city of Evernight is supposed to be a black parallel to the great city of spires of the elves, and in a sort of like a crude inversion of the city of spires. The Evernight on the surface is a sprawling city that delves into a massive fissure known as the Demon Pit, which sprawls down into a series of catacombs underneath the city.
Spooky.
Yeah, it is. It is a bit of an oddity in the Shadowfell in that it isn't unwelcoming to the living, but all those who are living who have ever ventured there have basically never returned, as the place is a lawless mess, full of hungry undead.
Yeah.
So, yeah, people have been allowed to walk into the city but have never returned.
great.
Elizabeth
That
thinks
went down,
aloud,
yeah.
so all of that gets voiced.
Yeah.
Enter at your own risk, pretty much.
I mean, that's about
So
the
it's like,
risks
yeah,
that we would take.
if you want to get bitten by a vampire, then sure, head on in.
I'm more worried about being messed by a vampire. Like I would have an amazing plan how we would deal with this situation, but I feel like we don't have the resources.
Hmm.
What we'd have to do is travel to the plane of water, bless the entirety of the plane,
Oh my
Open
god.
Bless the
portal a
entire
gate,
plane. Can we
and
even
then
do
just
that?
dump a gate,
Yeah.
like that. Basically, dump blessed water into the place, and it would be great.
You would need a lot of powdered silver
Yeah, I
to
was
do
gonna
that,
say
and a
that'd
lot
be
of
a
time.
lot of water.
Yeah.
That would be
Paladin
impossible. But
clerics.
like, the idea was so good. I just want it to happen.
The
Yeah,
idea
the
was so
voice.
good, but impossible.
Like, let's put it this way: if it was that easy, then the gods probably would have done it by now.
Why not? Well, like that would piss off quite some gods, I think.
Also, you'd piss off everybody who lives on that plane. Probably.
Yeah.
Do people live in the plane of water?
That's,
Yeah.
Yeah, of course they do.
Although, like,
Elementals, water genies.
Marids.
also holy
Marids.
water's not that. Like holy water's a good thing usually, right? So
I don't know. There's things in the elemental plane of water that probably don't like things that are holy. You know, like Kraken.
Well, yeah, but not all of it. Like, not all of them there. But it's more the fact that you'd be literally turning their home into basically a weaponized water source.
Yeah.
And also, that would destroy the plane, probably.
Yeah. Yes, it probably would.
Like,
I
imagine
am
somebody
worried
removing a
about that.
large chunk of your house, writing some scripture on it, loading it into a trebuchet, and then flinging it.
Wow.
The mental image of that is so good, and it's
That
so
is
ridiculous.
quite a mental
Good.
image.
Yeah.
The trebuchet really made it.
Do you reckon you could make a decanter of endless holy water? Could we just
I
do
thought
that?
about that for a second. I was like, oh shit, if we had a decanter of endless water, that'd be great.
but
Yeah, a decanter of endless holy
but
water.
these options are
Anyways.
far beyond us.
I
are
can't
worse,
wait. Was
yeah.
that in character?
No. But I was.
Okay, I was gonna
I am.
say.
I am trying to ease us back in
No, I know.
to the characters.
Yeah. Back in
Anyways.
character.
What are we going to do with her?
Well,
like
you guys said it. We're just gonna leave her, right?
Are we leaving her to perhaps come after us again? She
That's
will
true.
not stop if.
Okay. There's two things. There's like honestly, this might just be a Cabal that's messed with me a little bit, but I feel like if we kill her, I feel like that would put like I feel like it would put us closer to being on par with the Cabal. If you know what
I
I
mean-
mean. Like it puts us one step closer to being them.
Yeah, but like, it's a thing of like, we either kill her now, or she comes after us at some point in the future, possibly harming other people and killing them.
Yeah. That's
Right.
actually something I hadn't considered.
Yeah. So that's the main reason why I would be for killing her.
I guess we kill her then.
She's already done a lot of harm as well, but to just
mean-
strike
To
somebody down who is just to strike somebody down who is just defenseless is not.
No, every time I'm like,
what do you think
could
an
we,
what
like,
do you think
stop
an
her from-
execution is?
Yeah, like the only thing I could think of is take away her ability to cast spells, but again, that would like require gruesome acts.
Yeah, you'd probably have to cut her hands off.
Oh,
And
I was
cut her
thinking of
tongue out.
tongue.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say Grim's probably
have to-
thinking of tongue.
Yeah, you'd probably have to cut her tongue out and cut her hands off.
Like, you can see how people resort to like grim torture so easily.
No, I don't. No, I really don't.
Well, like every time we.
The only thing
every
I'm
ti-
seeing right now is how people, resort to the death penalty.
Well,
I
like,
don't think
it's
that that's
the-
any better.
Yeah, that's
I
How
mean,
you
I'm
do it.
sorry. At least it'd be, quick and not like long, drawn out, horrific, painful. Like,
life as a mute is perfectly livable.
I know it
Well,
is,
it's a little
yeah,
rough,
but
like
becoming a mute in that way is probably extremely painful.
probably.
if they're
And
unconscious,
also,
they might not
like-
notice.
She'd still bleed a lot.
Yeah, but like I still have some spare medical supplies. But like, regardless, this is maybe we're getting a little closer to actually doing this than I. Unless you all think it's a great idea,
No.
but like I feel like this, like we
I'd-
either leave her intact or we leave her
I'd
untact.
I'd call for a vote on like, do we kill her or not? But honestly, I feel like none of us know the answer.
See, this is where a fifth party member would be great because they could break the tie.
There isn't really a tie to break. Like,
Is it? I feel like
well, I mean,
kind of
how many
feel like
people?
you're
How many people here
split.
definitely want her to die? How many people here definitely want to kill her?
I mean, Arya kind of is in for it because she's like aware of how dangerous she is, and she knows that there's a great possibility that if we leave her here, she'll just come back.
Okay.
I'm
how
also
many
just
people?
thinking of all the shit she did even before she got like involved with the Cabal, because the Five Talent Gang was fucking bad.
Okay, so would you? Okay, so
No,
Arya,
but,
would you say you
like-
definitely want to kill her?
Yeah.
Okay. Does anyone
Although,
definitely want to not kill her?
I'll.
I'm pretty strong on the not kill side. And I will, there are several reasons. One of the reasons would be, although, I guess you could also see it as a reason to actually kill her instead. I feel like one of the tests that Cabal is sending is, just by repeatedly throwing her at us, they would leave us no choice but to kill her, and that way, that's, their means of justifying their view, or, justifying their views towards us. It's like, see? Sometimes killing people is the only solution. And I don't know if I want to progress in their game.
I mean, honestly, the Cabal is going to think what they want to think, no matter what we do.
Yeah.
What matters is
they'll.
why we do it on our end, and
I mean, let's be honest. They'll see us killing them and go, "Ah, yes, they're progressing along our way." They'll see us not kill her and think we're weak. I don't think we can win. This is not a. This is a lose-lose
I
situation.
don't think they'll necessarily think we're weak. Because that would be us standing for some ideals.
Ferrous, it's been a really, really, really long time since we did the original stuff against the Five Talon Gang. Can you remind me the shit that they did to Renshire as a group?
I mean, they basically took the place over and ran it like the mafia.
Yeah.
And sent protesters to a mansion that had a creepy ass prison pocket dimension in it that drove everyone mad.
Yeah, that is the dodgy part about it, is that they did anyone who protested against them, they took them up to the asylum, basically threw them in and let the warden deal with them.
They also
Although,
extorted people, right? Sort of.
Sorry, say that again.
They extorted people,
Yeah,
because they tried to make us pay that toll when we came.
Yeah,
in,
they extorted
Yeah.
people. They
well, there was basically that if you have this badge, you can legally commit crime. Pretty
Basically,
much,
yeah.
Because
Oh
Yeah.
right, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, if you're a 5 Talon, you could.
they were the mafia.
well,
Yeah,
I say
mafia.
legally, but you can illegally commit crime without a problem. That was
Yeah.
Yeah.
more accurate.
The guards won't stop you if you're 5 Talon.
But the thing to remember about temerity, because I think I'm pretty sure you guys uncovered this, but temerity basically got her abilities by the Five Talon doing to her what they did to other prisoners, basically forcing her to go to the asylum. And that was how she got her powers in the first place.
Honestly,
She made a pact to get out.
that prison was made by the same person that was powering the Cabal.
Yes.
So, to some degree, I feel like they planned this even before we were involved. Hmm. You know what? Maybe.
I mean,
Yeah,
knowing
maybe.
Rob, whatever we choose, he's just gonna make temerity come back as some sort of zombie
Well,
just to fuck with us.
well, now that you mention it, it would be interesting to see if they put in the effort to bring her back.
Or if she was dead.
I don't know if that's a good reason to decide to kill her, though.
Well,
Right.
it's not really much of a reason, but it's more of a side bonus or whatever.
I
you
mean,
wanna call it.
that's very much an
Wow.
out of character thought.
Oh
Yeah,
no, that
yeah.
was in character.
Oh, okay.
That was very much in character. If we killed her, and they brought her back, that would definitely mean something. But what?
He is grim.
because well, we were like thinking about it. Like she's not been super successful, which I don't know if they expect her to lose.
Well, I mean, what gives us the right to be judge, jury, and potentially an executioner?
Same thing that gives them the right, I guess. But
As you guys are having this conversation, Elizabeth, you notice that she is beginning to stir.
Yeah, I'd like nudge the others. Like sudden, like whoever was stood next to me, if they were in elbow nudging range,
oh,
be like, yeah, she's waking up.
I draw my sword.
Okay.
just we should you know what, we should leave her and just go, and then let fate decide. Because we will either way we'll never we'll never forgive ourselves if we make the wrong choice. If she dies and she doesn't come back, we'll be sad, or we always feel like, did we do something wrong? If she lives and she does something bad, did we do something wrong? Is the same thing we'll be asking ourselves. If she lives and does something good, that's like the only positive outcome of it.
Yeah, and I doubt that's going to be the case.
And that's a little optimistic.
I did say this was a lose-lose situation.
Okay. So
Whatever we're doing, we need to do it now.
she is moments away from waking up. Decide.
Well, I guess we just tie her up, gag her, and head out.
Well, she already is, but
Yeah, she
Well,
already has tied
yeah,
up and
you know what
gagged.
I mean.
Can I knock her out again? Like, can I just make it so that she's not waking up right this second? Without, like, putting her in danger of just immediately dying again? If that
Can I
makes
make
sense?
her not awake?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just literally just knocking her out again. If she's starting to wake up, it's just knocking her out again.
you're
Not
gonna risk
lethally.
doing some permanent damage, but sure.
Oh, God. I'll just fucking leave her. Alright, nope, fuck it, whatever.
Brain damage is not the worst thing that can happen.
So, 5 of you walk away. Where are you going?
You know what? I've also just had the thought, guys.
Yep.
We do have, you know, debts to pay off, and we don't exactly have a grand haul so far.
We have.
We should probably find something. We should probably try and find something in here that the living army hasn't scavenged.
I'm just worried that if we take too long, Wave 2 will arrive, and even though Wave 1 took quite a hit, as you could see, I doubt Wave 2 will struggle as badly, considering most of the stuff will be disabled or otherwise dead or circumvented. But yes, okay, we can check like a handful of rooms, but as you may have noticed before, like a lot of these rooms have been scavenged for parts.
Well, yeah, that's literally all I'm suggesting is, right, we plot a route to get us back out of the fort. And if there's any rooms that look like they could be useful, like, you know, depending on what they're labeled or whatever. I know the labeling isn't necessarily accurate, but we could at least pop our head in.
So
or maybe we could at least go back to the research annex and central research annex and grab anything we didn't have time to grab before, like, we ran.
there wasn't really much left in the central research annex.
Nothing that we could at least carry.
Talking of haul, the gold pouch you took from Daemaris, she has about approximately 140 gold in the coin pouch, as well as a couple of not inexpensive spellcasting components. Do you take her? I realise as well she has a short sword. Do you take her short sword?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, We're not going to leave her armed.
So, it definitely doesn't look like a regular short sword. It is socketed with a number of gemstones that, from your general experience of handling magic weapons, this is probably a magic weapon.
Tuck it away for now and take a look at it later.
Yeah.
Was her rod anything magic? What magic or spellcasting?
It's a
Focus
spellcasting
rod?
focus. That's all it is.
Yeah. So, that's like my point is like if there's interesting rooms on the way, that like just open the door and have a look.
Yeah. Okay. Make me an investigation check as you're heading out.
I guess I'll assist because I am.
Yeah.
We did mention it earlier.
Oh,
Well, I think
okay.
earlier.
Yeah, I'll allow that.
Previous, so.
So advantage then.
Yep. Okay.
For fuck's sake.
Okay. So there is very little of value that can be scavenged here. As you investigate, like pretty much everything that was in sort of like the construction or foundation of this place has been torn up and salvaged. But it looks like this place was stripped a long time ago.
Or even before the army.
Even before the army, like there's you come across like entire shelves of books that have just been emptied. That are just like there's like the occasional one or two books left that are gathering dust.
I'll still take the books.
Yeah.
And we carry so many books.
That's what you get. That's what you get for having me in the party.
Yes. So, yeah, it looks like the functional aspects of this, save the manufactory for the mechanoids. This place was emptied a long time ago and left to just be a fortress. Under what circumstances is not clear, but.
Okay, so what I suggest, considering where we are, we don't want to leave for the front gates, right? Would you? I assume you guys would agree.
I mean, we can just do the jump off the wall trick.
Well, still need to get up onto the wall.
Oh,
but what I was thinking.
It's worth noting as well, as you go through the halls, you come across several of these trapped corridors that are basically just like the majority of them are expired. Some of them are like still like firing repeatedly at like a corpse that's jammed in the mechanism. But yeah, like a large number of these traps have just all been like tripped or diffused.
I guess before I suggest this, was there any route to the roof on the blueprints?
Yes, multiple.
That's a good idea.
What I'm
We could just
thinking.
Griffin. Yeah, the Griffin just flies
Yes.
out.
Yeah, we head to the roof and Griffin out.
Griffin out.
That's a pretty good plan.
I don't think I have that. I can't cast that right now.
Well, the Griffin. We just left the Griffin outside. Surely it's still there.
No,
Nope.
the Griffin
No.
moved.
Griffin was deleted by the tank.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, let's
Deleted.
not. My
Of
poor
course.
Griffin.
Okay, so we can't Griffin out.
No. I mean,
Right,
if we
yep.
stay in here a night, risk that, I can do it, but...
I like
I don't really
that much.
want to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not in the mood for risking that. Get back to the
So we're-
tree line.
Okay, so well, in order to get in, they must have overwhelmed the tank outside, right?
Well, yeah, they must have gone through most of the living army.
Or they
assuming-
just need to run for it.
Yeah, in which
Okay,
case
we-
we can just make a run for it.
Can we get onto
We're
the
not
wall?
in very good condition to do that.
No. but
Yeah,
can
not
we-
really.
They don't. I mean, they don't start in very good condition to do that.
But like, but with Is there a good route onto the wall, or would we have to get to the gate? There was
keep
like,
next
kind
to
of
the
this
wall.
gap between the actual fortress and the.
So you can leave through one of the side doors and aim for one of the towers on the wall to ascend the wall.
Okay.
It's just
Well,
getting down the other side of the wall.
Well, I assume we have feather. available.
Featherfall, yeah. I
So
should have no
there,
problem
yeah.
casting Featherfall. So,
Although at these short distances, it is terrifying. Falling. It's like if you miss it just by a second.
You know.
But
Okay, so
regardless, we'll have to
because
make
the
do.
wall's not that steep. Tall.
Yeah, I was like, steep. It's like.
The
but yeah,
wall's not that tall.
It's
think
it's
it
about
was-
as steep as you get. It's vertical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it wasn't that tall. Think about
Wow.
it, right?
Yeah.
That robot took 12 seconds to fall.
Yeah, so it's like that's well over 100 feet.
It's a
Yeah, which
decently long
means-
way.
Which means falling at 60 feet per second, we have well more than a minute. No, falling at 10 feet a second, we have plenty of time to
Yeah.
fall before.
Yeah.
We have plenty. Like we'll get
Yeah,
the
look,
drop
no,
before
don't worry. I'm not
Featherfall.
I'm not saying you will fail, but like,
It
that
is
was more
still
the- I-
scary.
like,
Grim is afraid of heights.
well, not necessarily. You know, I'd never admit
Look.
to such a thing.
I would never admit to such a thing. That doesn't mean you're not.
Yeah.
Look. Do you want to jump off a wall, or do you want to go back to the Shadowfell? Come on, man.
Grim is not afraid of heights. Grim is afraid of rapidly descending from heights.
Mhm.
Yeah. He's
Well,
like,
it's more so
what-
flight, I think, than anything else.
I mean, no, he's not afraid of height. He's afraid of being somewhere high up that's also unstable.
And I think we should probably make the distinction as it's not so much fear as the intense discomfort. It's
Yeah.
like,
Anyway, Grim's afraid of heights. Let's move on.
wow.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Can't
So,
believe I have no choice.
moving
in
on.
that.
You're making for the
It looks
side
like our
door
best
and
option.
climbing the wall.
Yes, and then
Okay.
jumping off the other side of the wall.
So
Um,
as you leave by one of the side doors, you check your surroundings, and it is immediately obvious the fate of the battle tank, as the entire gatehouse is completely leveled.
Oh, oof.
Buried beneath the rubble is the tank, and the cause of the damage is immediately obvious, as the stern of the giant floating boat has been rammed directly through the gatehouse. It has been used as a battering ram.
Wow.
Oh. I guess they've
Anyways.
taken the boat out of commission for us?
Yeah, well, it's not entirely out of commission. Like, it's potentially salvageable, but it has got several large like rens in the front of it. It looks like it took a hell of a shelling by the tank before reaching the walls.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm guessing our thing disabled some of the massive fire blasts from the towers, or like at least the machine army that was firing. Oh well. Regardless, actually, well, I guess once we get on top of the wall, we should probably see if we can get a peek at what's on the ship.
So
Not
yeah,
like actually approach the ship, but
you climb to the top of the wall, and it seems, yes, your theory concerning the wall defenses does appear to be correct, because a number of the automata are just sitting in their little nooks, completely offline.
Well, at least that's good news for us.
I guess it will have to do.
I just wish we could
But
take one.
do we see any life on the ship from here, or can we not really make it out?
You are a decent distance. I assume you were keeping away from going through the gatehouse, so
Yeah.
you're a decent
Yeah.
distance away from the gatehouse.
It's more just like if you see any
Um,
movement on the ship, or
You
anything.
passive perception. You see no movement.
That's not a surprise for me.
Well, Elizabeth.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Surprise for me.
You see very little movement.
Yeah.
Well,
I almost
everybody
wish we could
ready
take one
for
of these. I almost wish we could take some of these automata with us.
No.
well,
Unless
I
you have
would.
a way of carrying it.
I would.
I-
It would be absolutely amazing, but we do not have the capacity.
I mean, I have a way of carrying it if you give me 10 minutes at the base of the wall.
I don't want to stick around that long personally.
I feel like
Exactly.
1 minute is too much.
Exactly.
Let's
I'd
drop.
have to do it. I'd have to cast a ritual to carry one.
Yeah, you'd also have to
Time for a
haul it
trust fall.
halfway around the island.
Yeah.
Like,
Which would mean
this-
taking a break every hour to recast the spell.
Christ. Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, it's time for the trust fall.
Yep.
Because
That's what
that's
you're
let's be
gonna-
honest.
Possible?
Well, what else are you gonna call it? We're trusting in Elizabeth to like save our lives.
Mm.
Oh,
So
we
you
might
all-
live actually.
You all climb up on top of this wall.
I imagine we just like go like hug each other like a ball almost and just
Well,
fall
I-
over.
Yeah, I'd imagine countdown. Yeah.
Ah,
3,
that's-
2,
That's the more sane
One.
option.
jump.
Okay.
Grim is just that terrified.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1, jump. And as soon as everyone's feet has left the floor, cast the spell.
Yeah. You all float your way down off the top of the wall. Land on the outside.
Does this mean we get to see the map again?
Does.
Oh, I guess the question is, on what side did we exit?
I don't think the
Also-
boat's there anymore.
It is not.
Which boat?
What side of the thing did you exit on? That's entirely up to you.
I
East
assume we would
side.
stick. I assume that we stick to what we know and try to.
Yeah, the east side.
Okay.
I imagine we head back to where our original fucking camp was.
There is one thing that I am very curious about.
Hmm.
I don't know about you guys, but this tower in the middle of the map,
Yeah.
I am slightly concerned about heading there, but I also feel like, considering what's happening on the island, kind of want to know what's there.
I feel like that's something for another day.
No, we're not gonna do. No, we're gonna need we're gonna need someone to fly up with the griffin.
Yeah,
Oh, you
we
just
need.
wanna go and like look at it.
Like see if it is something, and if it's worthy of our time, like we can invest more time into it.
Let's not forget that up in that mountain range was a large number of those demon birds.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
wow.
is very true.
Like I said, it's a point of interest on this island for sure. So is the whole island. If we want to do anything else on this island, we need to make another trip. I feel like there's only one. I feel like we have two options really. One, we just wait for our normal evacuation, or two, we deal with a certain problem on the south of the island first.
Well, it is worth noting, if you guys are still looking for ways to make up your debts, there was a lot of very expensive furniture and things in the manor house.
Yeah.
And we only looted a little, although
Yeah,
I think we
it's
looted the most important parts, and
because I know.
But you didn't.
guys
You also didn't take very much.
like, let's be honest here. Like that whole library would be worth
Yes.
tens of thousands of platinum.
Yes. The library. If you could find a way to get the majority of the contents of the library off the island to any wizard worth their salt, that is a lot of money.
God, you could sell that to the Wizards College up in the city of Spires.
what
They'd sell you bags of platinum. They'd buy that for bags of platinum.
I'm really tempted to do that, but I'm also a little hesitant due to a certain thing called the Lady of Rot.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah,
a
she's
lot
not
of you
gonna like
guys.
that.
And I would almost send Arya in to like stealth in and have a sneaky peek, but
I
like
mean,
that is the love. I feel like the Lady of Rot is the kind of person that like even Arya will just be spotted by.
Well, it's also a question of, now that I suppose we have the crown, but do we want to leave her to just, with nothing, no enemies on this island, to build up her
I don't
strength?
know, like
Lady Vasulia, that is.
Yeah, Lady Fusulia, I think I think we have to get.
Like, yeah, this is my point. I never meant dealing with the Lady of Rot. I meant dealing with Lady Vasulia.
No, but like I'm a little concerned that one might lead to the other, but we'll try. Like, if the others agree,
Yeah.
I feel like this has to be unanimous because we're risking the artifacts and we're risking
Yeah.
our lives.
And this is... Like, let's be honest, do we want to leave her on this island alone? With a wealth of new dead bodies?
Mentally, I don't think she'll do much with them, but
Mm,
regardless.
she might be happy to stay on this island. I don't know if the Lady of Rot would give her that luxury.
But
Yeah, I don't know.
well,
On one hand, I'm like, don't leave that lady here, but on the other hand, I'm like, man, that lady is probably pretty powerful.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
how much do I know about Gorgons? And I'm saying Gorgons because I refuse to say Medusas.
Yes, we
but,
know.
like, this gameplay technically inaccurate. Can't believe it was
So
Look, it's dumb as fuck they didn't call them Gorgons.
fine.
you can give
Roll.
me. I guess give me just a straight intelligence check,
Alright.
because I've already told you some things.
Fuck.
Okay. So everything I've told you about Lady Vasulia and her species stands correct. If you look at them, they can petrify you. They are powerful mythical creatures. She obviously has some agreement with the Lady of Rot that has transformed her into this. Whether or not that gives her other powers is another question entirely. And
Gods, of course.
she claims to have remolded the species, the myconid species on this island into something new. That's no simple feat.
Yeah,
She did. I was just
that's
thinking about
a
it.
very good point.
She did seem beyond reasonable in, like,
But-
reasoning. Like, she didn't attack us on sight. She actually offered. She was offered her hospitality.
But she
Yeah.
wants the crown.
Yeah.
The whole reason she offered all that is under the understanding that we would bring her the crown.
She did also seem very impressed by the fact that the lot of you just waltz into her home. She was quite impressed by
Yeah.
that. The fact that you didn't die on the way there. She was quite impressed.
Also, yeah, like, she wants the crown. We now know what it does, and it's kind of sinister in her hands, given she also has a lot of thrall.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that might also apply to those trolls. Though she doesn't quite have control over these.
And if we leave...
She
with the
did over
crown-
the spore-infested humanoids, not directly over the myconids, but
And if she leaves with the crown, if we leave with the crown, she will not. She will certainly notice that the fortress is suddenly so drastically undefended. She will send her people in. She will find no trace of the crown, and assume either, well, and also presumably see no trace of our bodies, and assume that we have taken the crown and broken our agreement. She won't be happy with that. Oh, it's just one dilemma I after another.
I guess. Well, regardless of what we do, I think we can easily get back in, and we could just. Oh no, actually, I was like thinking, like considering the power of this artifact, like merely mentioning that it's here might. Like I feel like this is the kind of artifact that the Lady of Rot might be interested in, because if it's an
Almost
artifact that belongs to
certainly.
Paris Doom, that is a
Oh yeah,
whole
didn't
other.
she say that that the Lady of Rot was the one who wanted the crown more so than she wanted it for herself?
Yes.
So
So if we return with the crown, odds are she's gonna inform the Lady of Rot. However, regardless of what we do, we're gonna piss off the Lady of Rot.
Unless we just show up and give her the crown,
Yeah,
take
but like
more stuff and leave.
I, I don't feel like giving the crown is a legitimate option.
And no, I'm pretty sure all of us object to just handing the crown to Lady Vasulia.
Okay. How about this? Well, we're gonna go there. We're gonna kill her, and we're gonna plan an escape route before we do. Because she were able to teleport fast distance in the cave or in the lava tunnel.
Vault.
Lars.
oh, me.
Yes.
Yeah, but I can
So-
only take one of us
Well,
with,
The
or I
others
can only take
have-
one other person with me. Is what I meant to say.
the others have teleportation and tricks of their own to speed up. It is mainly just slow old Grim that's falls behind. Although
That's assuming one of us doesn't, get petrified.
Yeah, that is another problem.
I'm not too concerned about that.
I mean, let's be honest, if we were going to fight Lady Vasulia, we'd need some way to counteract that. Do we have... I don't think we have any way to counteract that.
Well,
We'd
I
need
don't-
Rondal.
That
Well,
doesn't
that's-
get cleared by lesser restoration, does it? Like mechanics wise?
Not lesser.
Yeah, it has to be greater, right?
Yeah, you
Yep.
need greater.
Let's see. Wait. Oh, never mind.
Lesser restoration
Wait, did we?
can cure any disease. One disease or one condition. The condition can be blind, deaf, and paralyzed or poisoned.
We do have one potion of renewed vitality.
But that doesn't
But
do that.
oh, never mind. Well, no, it was like removes any exhaustion, poison, and disease, but like basically everything but like gratification.
Yeah, we'd need greater restoration, and that's not a cheap spell.
Well, we could trick our way in and have Kelariis decapitate her.
Excuse me?
Well, like it's her stare that's that's the problem. And if you can get in a good surprise hits, I bet you could get chop it off as a few hits.
Yeah, to clarify, yes, you basically have to lock eyes with her to become petrified. So if you don't look at her, then you're fine. It's just that not looking at her makes it very hard to shoot at, swing swords at.
Yeah. Like, we can avoid being petrified fairly easily, but it disadvantages us in a big way.
Well, regardless of that, we're gonna have to we're gonna do it now, or we'll probably not return for a long time.
I suppose, yeah, we wouldn't want to. We don't want this problem to grow
Also,
too
like
fast or get too out of hand.
gold, as for money, what was the amount we needed to recover again? Was it 1,600 gold? Oh, I forgot the price that we established.
Yeah, I always forget as well.
Let's see if I have that written.
That's a very good question. Let's see if I have it written down. I'm pretty sure I do.
See, my brain says 3,000, but I think it was more.
That's not
Like it was a manageable amount. It was slightly more than we. It was like a couple hundred more than we had. Actually, so let me check how much we actually had.
Oh, I do not have it written down.
Okay, so it's 1,500 or 12, or 1,500 or 2,000. One of those two.
1,500 sounds right. I'll go back and check the video.
I don't know. That sounds a bit low to me. I thought it was way higher.
I will check the video.
Because like I remember, I remember checking because I didn't want us to be like required to find like thousands and thousands of gold.
He did want a lot of money, but then you said that, oh, we'll bring the boat back.
Yeah.
Well, I've also had a thought of like, we have plenty of other quite interesting oddities.
You do.
Yes, we could probably we could
that
most
will-
definitely.
Possibly not be that useful to us once we're off this island. Like, as
Probably.
amazing as a special like that crystal that replayed the recording I could live with not having it.
That's very true.
That's a surprise.
As long as I had the notes, I don't know. I could make an arrangement to just notes. I could either make an arrangement to like say, hey, can I show up and look at the crystal every now and then, or
But
I could just
admittedly-
take notes.
I do think we could probably trade the crystal for a lot, like records of the Ladderman.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's exactly why it'd be so valuable to him as well, though.
Yeah.
Like it may subvert the cost of the staff entirely.
Oh, like if easily.
We may not have to pay him a single coin.
Definitely. Well, like we will. Like I think we have it. We have it covered in like artifacts and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's.
But regardless, So,
So
do we
well,
want
that-
to
well,
take the
that's-
risk or not? Because that's what we're still hung up on.
I say no.
Well, I did say it had to be unanimous, so unless somebody can convince Elizabeth,
I just.
it will be.
I don't know really.
Sorry, this is still about the risk of fighting.
Lady
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just fighting and looting, the Gorgon.
Because I think
Or
as
Medusa.
far as loot and money is concerned, we have artifacts that we can potentially exchange for the
Yeah,
staff
but, like,
back.
I don't think we should not be doing this for the money. We should be doing this
Yeah,
because it's the right
well,
thing
exactly.
to do.
That's a good point.
I cannot believe Grim just said that.
What?
Also, yeah, wow.
What?
Yeah, hang on. Can we just make a note? Grim said it's not about the money.
Like I can fix this.
Grim?
Like because like financial damage caused by having her chase us would be far greater. That's of course the excuse.
It's okay, Grim. Just
Why
admit it.
Why did that just sound like an insurance commercial?
That did.
I don't know. I just.
Um,
That was good though.
because killing her is basically insurance,
Yeah.
which sounds
It
awful.
would be. Well, it's not really insurance, is it?
Well,
Yeah.
it's making
Insurance-
sure there's one
insurance
less
is
threat that
making-
can immediately address you.
Well, no. Insurance is, making a series of regular payments. So if something goes wrong, you have something to fall back on. Whereas killing Lady Vasuli will be one massive investment to make sure that nothing bad happens in the future.
Yeah,
Well,
but, like,
insurance is just
that's
anything
insurance.
that
Pretty insurance.
like it's just
Yeah.
insurance policy for the future. It doesn't have to be in installments.
Because
I suppose.
it is worth noting that even if you piss off the Lady of Rot is not on the material plane and will need a way to get off the get out of the abyss into the material plane to be able to fuck with you. That may not be as easy as you think.
Does she have access to the what's it now? Shadowfell.
You don't know, but the same rule applies. Planar travel is not easy.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we had to go through some fucking lengths to get to the Shadowfell that one time.
Yeah.
You need open gateways to travel between planes, or you need very powerful magic.
So basically,
Yeah.
she would have to recruit a new.
With
follower.
the added effects of if you are a being from the negative planes, traveling to the positive planes is very difficult. If you are a being from the positive planes, the inverse is true.
Yeah.
Because that's why demons who have access to plane shift don't just plane shift themselves into the material plane.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay, so
They often need vessels or conduits.
Yeah.
okay,
I
I'm a
think-
bit more confident about taking her on now. But like,
I don't think that we should just leave her with the crown. So
I mean, we'd
one
have
way or
plenty
the
of
other-
chances to rest before fighting her. So I reckon fully rested.
yeah,
I
no,
reckon
we're gonna have to rest. But
Yeah.
also, I feel like a chance at slaying another monstrosity will never disappoint Arya.
You know what? I actually I reckon we could do it.
Of course we can. The question is, there was never any doubt about it.
At least one of us is confident.
I love Grim's confidence.
So that sounds like you have eventually all come around to the idea of taking down Lady Vasulia.
The longest conversation ever.
Hey, we've had a lot of like ethics debates recently this episode.
Yeah.
Today,
I don't think-
the
to be
Dungeons and
fair, I don't
Dragons
think
the
that
Second
was an-
Age does philosophy.
I don't think that was an ethics debate so much as will we get fucked up debate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ethics are clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, ethically, we're basically compelled to cleanse this plane of any evil.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're not getting into this. We decided we
No.
made our decision.
No, we're leaving. We've decided we're leaving the philosophy
Oh,
behind
look.
us now.
Don't worry, it
No more.
it aligns
no
with
more
our goal.
philosophy.
We're getting
No more
off the boat.
Look,
It's
we don't
fine.
need more school subjects with Second Age. We're
So-
leaving the philosophy behind now.
As the five of you walk away from the fortress, now looking significantly less intimidating, the camp of the Cabal now sitting sort of quiet and unoccupied. You head back towards the forest tree line. And I think that's where we'll call our session.
Oh.
So,
Oh.
that was quite the adventure.
It's a
That's
rare
quite-
session where you know what we're
Yeah.
gonna do next time.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you for being so concise about what you're going to do next.
We
You're
never
very,
do that,
you're
ever.
very welcome, oh great and powerful.
Don't worry,
DM.
I'm sure
Please
we'll-
do not TPK us.
I'm sure next
That's
session
entirely your
we'll
decision, not
reopen,
mine.
I know.
we'll reopen the debates and decide completely differently. We're gonna rush into the tower in the center. Definitely.
No, we're not.
Oh.
See, it's the thing as well. If we're just going for like an all-out combat against Lady Vasulia, I'll totally feel comfortable blowing all of my big spells.
Eh,
Like fuck it, I'll throw a chain lightning in her face all the goddamn day.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe
Well.
twice a day.
Yeah, maybe
That's-
twice.
That's something
Depends if I
you'll
wanna
have.
summon a whirlwind as well.
That's something you'll have to do in the moment,
Next time, which is not next week.
which is not next week because we're doing something else next week. But yeah,
Yeah.
I guess
Well,
I guess all that leaves is to say thank you all for watching, thank you all for playing, and we'll see you all next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.